at the end of the day, my friends were still my friends, my family was still my family. Life goes on, so go with it. 14 months ago, I started wearing the hijab, and honestly, it's been such a great time. I've learned a lot, I've lived a lot, and I can confidently say that I've accumulated 0 hate crimes, so I'm super stoked about that. But for anyone who's been wondering where I've been, why I've been MIA for the past year and a half, it's because I've been working on a lot of things. You know, of course, you guys have seen, or some of you guys have seen the launch of the 5th community, which I'm super stoked about. But more importantly, I've been working on myself. So for the purpose of this video, I guess for a lot of you, it'll just serve as a catch-up, a little check-in. Hey, hello, how you guys doing? And for the rest of you, I just want to share all the lessons I've learned since then. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1, people respond more to your character than they do to how you look. When I first started wearing the hijab, I thought that people were gonna look at me differently, people were gonna treat me differently, but then I quickly realized that no one really cares, you know? They care more about your character, how you treat them, how you respect them. I think the reframe that helped me the most was understanding that I wasn't the first hijab that people have seen. You know, like everyone else has seen like people in hijabs before, you know, the only new concept was me in a hijab. So although it did take time for myself and other people to adjust, at the end of the day, my friends were still my friends, my family was still my family. Life goes on, so go with it. Number 2, change is scary, but so is staying the same. We all know something that we can do better, something we could start, something we should end, but we tend to put it off because we don't know how it's going to turn out. If we're choosing to ignore it, we don't want to deal with it. But what I've learned is whenever we're putting something off, not only are we trading growth for comfort, but we're also just delaying the pain. So for example, if you're trying to stick to your health goals this year, you know, those New Year's resolutions, you're trying to go for that new career path, you're trying to do something new, but then you keep putting it off because change is scary to you. Imagine being super overweight. Imagine gaining 50 pounds. Imagine letting yourself go so far that you don't know how to get back from it. Imagine working a job that you absolutely hate. In my opinion, I think that's even scarier. At the end of the day, there's pros and cons to every decision, but if it were up to me, I'd choose change. Because at least that way I'd learn and I'd grow and I'd be a little bit closer to my goals. But if I stay where I am, I won't know otherwise. So take that leap of faith and just go where your interests lead you. Eventually, it'll work out. Number 3, act in spite of fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it. The most pivotal points in my life have been when I was the most fearful. Of course, wearing the hijab and choosing to wear it was one of them, but also when I decided to go to a business conference out in the middle of Minnesota because I knew that there was connections there that I could make and it was an environment that I could thrive in. From that, I landed my first fully remote, full-time project management role, and it got me to where I am right now. Or back in 8th grade when I chose to run for freshman president, and that led to a whole slew of things, and it eventually became ASB president, or president of the whole school come time senior year. Or even when I decided to have hard conversations with family members because I didn't like the dynamics that were going on, how it was passive aggressive, how it wasn't collaborative, how nothing was getting solved because we would never get to the root of the problem. But I can confidently say, and I'm super proud and I'm super happy that the relationships I have with my family now, I would 100% do everything I did if it meant that I would be as close and as tight-knit and as communicative as I am with everyone in my family now. So all of that to say is everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. So take that leap of faith and see where it takes you. So sorry. Number 4, learn to show up as you. There's no need to be anyone else. Whether I'm talking to an 80-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 30-year-old, I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna say for show. I'm still gonna say what's up. I'm still gonna do all that, you know, because that's just who I am. Ultimately, people respect you if you respect them, and if they can see that you have good character and a good work ethic, they really can't say anything bad about you. So learn to show up as you. Eventually, the people that respect you and care about you and value you will show up too, but I think it's better to be disliked being yourself than being liked for being someone you're not. Number 5, your greatest teacher is your past. To move forward, sometimes you have to look back. Not so much to dwell on our thoughts, but more so to understand the whys and the hows that shaped us. Every time that I feel anxious or sad, whenever I'm in a situation that I know I've been in before, I remind myself that I've overcome it already. So this is just an opportunity for me to do it a little bit better. Learn from the past so you can make better decisions today. Number 6, real recognizes real. Your intuition has a way of showing you who's actually good for you, even when your mind can't even make sense of it yet. There's been so many times where I've been in a situation where I feel uneasy about someone, or maybe they did something, but for me, it wasn't enough to show that they were not necessarily a good person or had the best character. But because I tend to look for the good in people, I just justify it by saying, like, well, I don't know them enough to make that judgment. Even when deep down inside, I had a feeling that they weren't really that great of a person. 10 out of 10 times, that feeling became truth. And the same goes for everyone that's good in your life, too. Trust your gut, it's there for a reason. Number 7, boundaries exist to keep relationships, not break them. In all honesty, I didn't even know what a boundary was until maybe a few years ago, and it kept me stuck. I always thought that boundaries meant putting walls up and making it harder for people to be in your life. But over time, what I've learned is boundaries are simply just telling people where the door is. The people that love you and value you and want to be in your life will understand. Number 8, to be seen is to be vulnerable. We can't expect people to be there for us, to show up for us, if we don't even let them in. I personally still have a hard time with this, but I've learned that at least with the people that I love and I trust and I know have my best intentions, it pays to be vulnerable. It's not fair that you're having them play this guessing game of you should already know me by now when you haven't even told them what you wanted or needed from them to begin with. So be real, be honest, and communicate. Number 9, to communicate is to connect. We say a lot, but we don't really mean a lot of the things that we say. It's important to be intentional and be kind to each other whenever we do have conversations, because without intention, without meaning, words are just noise. Number 10, everyone includes you too. As someone who used to be a people pleaser, I understand the prerogative that the end goal is to somehow be there for everyone, to somehow meet everyone's needs, but I failed to understand that everyone also included me. It's important to recognize that you are deserving of prioritization, of care, of appreciation, of value. So, understand that your needs deserve to be met and that you are a priority and you need to be cared for as well. Number 11, you are the biggest investment in your life. From the moment that you're born to the moment that you die, you are quite literally the only person who's there with you every step of the way. So be kind to yourself and make daily deposits into the life that you want to have. Number 12, everything starts with you. If you want better, you do better. People say that nothing changes until you do, and that's fact. There's a lot of things in life that we don't have control over. For the things that we do have control over, like your work ethic, your character, your attitude, your perspective, simply changing those things will make life a lot better. Number 13, give your flowers today. Don't wait for a moment to show appreciation, to show gratitude. If there's an opportunity, take it and just give it. If there's anything infinite in this world, I feel like gratitude is one of them. So use it, give it away, give it all away. Have a garden in your pocket and just give flowers every single day because it doesn't cost you anything, but it might mean the most to whoever it is that you're giving it to. And you don't want to wait until it's too late. So again, if you have the moment, give it all. Give it all. And number 14, use what you've got. A lot of people in my life, whether I just met them or I've known them for years, they all think I'm this smiley, super upbeat, could never be sad, positive outlook type of person. And sure, I am for the most part. I try to be as optimistic as possible, but that's far from the truth. I've been through a lot. I've gone through a lot of pain and suffering, and I've been sad a lot of times in my life. But I say that to say that that's okay. I've used a lot of that to create something good. I've used a lot of that to fuel my creativity and my work, and because of it, I've been able to make really hard decisions because I knew that at the end of the day, it would bring me closer to my goals. So whether you're mad or sad or feeling some type of negativity, you can choose to use that and turn it into something positive. And you know about the breakup arc of the people who got broken up with, and then they go on this whole entire transformation and glow up because they start going to the gym, and then they turn their life around that way. Or the people who got bullied and they wanted to essentially get revenge on their bullies by just changing their life around and doing better for themselves. Or I guess the softer version of that is my own story. So For me, I always try to be a good friend. I always try to be there for people, to be welcoming, to be understanding, to be empathetic, because growing up, I didn't have that. I always felt like I was a little bit lost, alone. I didn't really have anyone to go to. No one really understood me, and so in the pursuit of kind of filling that void in my own life, I was that for a lot of other people. So what was bad for me, what was a negative experience to me, I turned into a positive, because now I have amazing friends and I have an amazing support system, and I'm super, super grateful for that. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't turn that sadness, that pain that I had, into something good. So, with that, we've got 14 lessons for the 14 months of an MIA. So, I hope we're all caught up now. But more importantly, I hope that you learned something, that you got a reminder, an insight that will help you in your life. And I think my main goal here, my main driver here is just to give you guys lessons that I've learned along the way without the scars. So whether it's sharing my insights moving forward, or sharing what I'm working on, whether it's myself or the fifth community or whatever else it is, I just want to take you guys along because I think it's pretty cool. So until then, I will see you guys next time.